error was a lesson learned. Now I don't move, let's it get approved. Won't take a step till it get confirmed. Arm the tape, what was made for our sakes. March like a tank, one step will make the ground shake. My people sick in they head, Lord, let this truth spread like an outbreak and bring hell at them crackers can't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I want payback for the scars in enslaved memoirs. Till Christ arrive, I can't let it slide. Ignore the lies, the only free will that's before your eyes. It's life or death, nigga, you decide. This heaven was made for me and my fellow. I patiently wait with my eyes on the sparrow, and I pull the trigger while my lips kiss the barrel. Before I ever let a white bitch do me like Othello. I want out this wicked life like Romello. By any means, this devil pulling strings like Geppetto. Lay hold on this brotherhood, I swear I never let go. And fuck that silver spoon, got too much love for the ghetto. Till the score settle, if need be, I die for the cause. Just to hear them angels applaud. And I'm true by every word I say, cause I know my victory on the way. You want it? Nigga, walk this way. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy. I can't be touched. Came through in the clutch. They hate but they can't doubt us. We princes of the power, what you know about us? Evil all around us, but a nigga straight, I told you I can't be touched. Holy angels walk at my pace. And I'm grateful for the words that had me delivered. I'm hungry for the glory, but I ain't eating till I feed my next. One West, what I die for. Attire out the book of Numbers, this rifle from the Archangel Michael. My niggas rebels, you can't deny them. It's 144, I be running to and fro with the Allah higher. My UPK soldiers ain't no folding or pretending. We in it for them crowns, for friends, we want dominion. In the election ascension, I hope I make it through. Give a damn what a bitch think, as long as my niggas know I'm true. Betrayed your kind to get success. We make it through the eye of the needle, nigga. I be as life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy. I can't be touched. Life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels, boy. I can't be touched.
Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time,
Test 1, 2, 1, 2.
all I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots
Bear with me.
off. Either that
Yeah.
Funny how it's
What's up, bro?
evaded, not the
That's what
lives
you
lost.
took
Can't be focused on
barbecue
a
show?
life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had your life in jeopardy.
Other one.
And
There
I
you
know
go.
my
Most
brother
high
wants
the water.
success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh. Even though we did the wrong thing, my life
I'm trying to see how the sound is while the music playing in the background.
Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs custom made the face. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster.
Testing, 1, 2.
I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a
Okay, sounds pretty suave.
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the
All right,
Lord's anger.
Most High in Christ.
Prayed to him all the time, and I
So I'm gonna let the music just play in the background for now. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into the topic. Shalom. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah to all my brothers. Yahweh Shemal Atah Shem Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. You understand? This is Unplugged from the Matrix. Unplugged from the Matrix podcast. You know what I'm saying? With myself, Priest and Officer 500 Dabawan of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Unfortunately, my brother, Officer of 1,000 Ayaza Ab, could not be here today. So I'm going to do my best, you know what I'm saying, to hold it down in his absence. You know what I mean? We're going to bring us some heavy topics and bring us some scriptures, some stories. What we do here on Unplugged from the Matrix is exactly what it says. We unplug our people from the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? The Matrix being that delusion that has been pulled, you know what I'm saying, over our people's eyes, man. And what we do is we go into current events. We go into some historical articles, primary sources, all kinds of different things to show you the lies, you know what I'm saying, that have been told to our people. You know what I'm saying? To get you to understand that all of that stuff is just used as a ploy to further destroy our people. You know what I'm saying? But according to this Bible, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, we're God's chosen people. And if we can focus on that, and if we can learn how to live according to what he wanted us to do, what the Most High wanted us to do, then none of these lies can do anything to us. You understand? So we got a good show today. We're going to go into a few things. The name of I titled today's show, Fear Will Destroy Us. Why? Because you see today what's going on. A lot of brothers and sisters, man, this whole COVID thing, the vaccine, the disease itself, you know, I mean, there's a lot of fear being, you know what I'm saying, dispersed throughout America today. And the funny part about it is that it's being dispersed on both sides. And it's like a, you know what I mean, like a tug of war, you know what I'm saying, between who believes. One side is saying they're not the fearful ones. Everyone else is fearful. But then the other side is saying, no, we're not the fearful ones. Everyone else is fearful, so on and so forth. And black people just being caught up in the middle of it. Hispanics and Native Indians just being caught up in the middle of it. Okay, so what we want to do is, again, we're going to go into a few articles talking about some of these things. So one of the articles I want to go into, let me see, Salaki, I got an article, you know what I'm saying, about, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about this disgusting holiday, this Christmas, right? So I got an article talking about how the COVID-19, you know what I'm saying, we haven't even hit the first real spike from Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That disgusting holiday called Thanksgiving. They, you understand, they believe and they, you know, expected that a spike is going to take place, whereas the numbers are going to jump up from all the people, you know what I'm saying, traveling and everything for Thanksgiving. That hasn't quite happened yet. So what they're saying is that by the time when that even comes, then the Christmas spike is all going to be one big just jumble of, because people have been traveling and flying and driving and going everywhere for Christmas. I guess they not afraid of COVID because they haven't let it deter them in any way. A lot of people still got conspiracy theories again. You know what I mean? We're using that term just to say, some people saying, oh, the disease is fake. You know what I mean? All of these things. Well, if you believe that, no sweat, man. But the numbers don't show that. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are consistent with this being exactly what they call it, a pandemic, a plague. You know what I'm saying? The ISUPK, we know that it's a plague sent from the Most High. You understand? So yeah, I want to talk about those holiday virus numbers. Then I want to get into some vaccination stories, man. I want to talk about some vaccination things because that's a hot topic. So we're going to go into a little history about a vaccination in New York where millions of people got vaccinated in less than 1 month. And we're going to see the effects of that. Again, are we advocating? Are we pushing the vaccine? No. You know what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, if you're sick and you need to take the vaccine, take the vaccine. If you don't want to take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. If you see something that says, oh, there's pork in the vaccine, don't take it. But I'm pretty sure there's no pork in any vaccine ever. Oh, and in addition to that, after we read that historical article, we're going to get into something that talks about, you understand, this claim that people have that the vaccine has fetus tissue in it. We're going to get into that and get an understanding of exactly what's going on with the vaccine, all right? When it comes to fetal tissues and aborted fetuses and all of that. So we're going to read an article on that. Of course, we're going to bring out scriptures as well. Then we're going to talk about just how intense this coronavirus has been. How much of a pandemic it's been. How many lives has it taken or whatever. People want to say all this stuff is inflated, but even if it is inflated, ooh-wee. Why? Because the reality, even if the reality is half of what they're saying, that's pretty grim. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty grim. So people trying to water it down, you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing a service either. You know what I'm saying? You watering it, it's like you watering down the virus, but then you scared of the vaccine. Or on the flip, you scared of the vaccine, but not scared of however you want to put it. You know, like I said, the fear will destroy us. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, don't get caught up in any of that garbage. You understand? Try your best to not get sick. End of story. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Try your best to not get sick. It's not going to help you to be like, don't try to be like, you know what I'm saying, your red-blooded Americans who are so up in arms about wearing masks. Don't be like them. Okay? Let's do our best to stay safe and healthy. You know what I'm saying? And not be silly. All right. Then of course I want to talk about that video, that black doctor who died of COVID weeks after accusing a hospital staff of racist treatment. I want to talk about that as well. Then I got some other articles that I might throw in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Need you to bear with me because I don't got my brother Ayat tonight. You know what I mean? So, you know, he know how to do this, and with the DJing, with the music throwing it on and everything, keeping everything flowing real smooth. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get like him. I ain't quite there yet, so please bear with me. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we're going to do our best. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. We're going to come out with those articles real fast, real soon or whatever. But in the meantime, just let a little music go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just continue to kick it with us. You know what I'm saying? Shalom.
Christ's return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, Akai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Alton Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. and said, I pray you die, every devil.
Okay, our Most High in Christ, of course, you know what I'm saying? That was, you know what I'm saying, Lost Tribes, When I Met the Devil, classic joint. All right, so now we're gonna get into this first article, man. All right. So this is an article from Bloomberg.com. It says Fauci warns Christmas has greater virus risks than Thanksgiving. All right. So it says the Christmas holiday season could pose greater risk than Thanksgiving when it comes to spreading the coronavirus, said Anthony Fauci, the U.S. government's top infectious disease expert. You understand? Now, before I continue, let me just say this. Trusting I'm telling you the best way to word it. Our people are caught up in this idea that by understanding or by looking at something and recognizing someone's expertise or what have you, that you're trusting the white man. So if Anthony Fauci is the foremost U.S. expert on infectious diseases, me recognizing that to them is a form of, you understand, of me somehow trusting the white man. When that's not trusting the white man. That's not what that is. You understand? That's not what that is at all. Because if that was the case, then I can never, ever go to any dentist in America. Ever. I can none. Even if I go to a black dentist, that black dentist had to take exams that were made by who? By the so-called white man. He had to go to schools that were ran by who? The so-called white man. He has to follow regulations that are designed by who? The so-called white man. There is no black dentist anything. You understand? The FCC and the FDA and so on and so forth, these government, AKA, you know what I'm saying, so-called white man organizations govern all of these things. Whether it be your dentist or your pediatrician or your hospital or whatever thing you go to. Shoot, the lights that are on in your house right now, your electricity, your house, the land you live on, you got to pay taxes to who? There's nowhere you can go or anything you can do where this man or this, you know what I'm saying, the so-called white man is not involved in it. It's his country. It's his land. He runs it. So does that mean that just by me being alive today in America and going to the slavery or, you know what I'm saying, or getting in my car and stopping at red lights? I didn't put the red light there. Black people didn't put the red light there. Or the stop sign. You understand? Or, again, anything else you do. The grocery store. That gallon of milk you bought. Did black people do they own that milk company? You understand? No, they don't. So you can't. Let me get a scripture on this real fast. 1 second, Salakia. Let me go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Right now, we know the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. You understand? We understand that it is a prophecy, a future prophecy of what would happen to the so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man in America, of us going into slavery, right? Here's part of that prophecy. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. That's what we're doing in America today, right? We're serving our enemies, not our friends, not our good buddies. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I mean, somebody we rubbing shoulders with and we cool and we equal in America. No, we're serving our enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. What does that mean? What does that mean right there? What does it mean in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things? You know what I'm saying? Somebody tell me what that means. You got something? What does that mean? That's exactly, the sister said we have to go to them for everything. That's exactly what that means. It was prophesied that we were going to go into captivity and we were going to have to go to them for everything. You understand, Salakia? Shalom Shkata. What's going on out? I'm doing a radio show right now. Now you too wild. Come on. I'll hit you back afterwards. All right. Shalom with Christ. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister said, yeah, we have to go to him for everything. You know what I'm saying? In hunger. When you get hungry in America, who do you have to go? Where you got to go? You got to go to his McDonald's. You got to go to his Burger King. Oh, no, I don't eat that stuff. Okay. Then you got to go to his food line. Back in the day when I was coming up, we had to go to C-Town, Bravo. You know what I'm saying? You had to go to, what's the other one? Damn. How do I forget the name? You had C-Town. You had Bravo. Associated. And there's another one that I can't think of, right? But you had to go to his grocery store. Oh, well, you know, I don't eat that stuff. You know, I'm vegan. Or you got to go to his Whole Foods. You understand? You got to go to who runs the farmers market? When your local farmers market is going down, who's on the town association so y'all can have a farmers market? You understand? Okay, no, I'm a farmer myself. Okay, you're a farmer yourself. No sweat. Okay, you're a farmer yourself. Well, you do understand that there's government regulations on farming in America, right? Now you can go against them all you want, but of course, you'd be operating outside of the law and subjecting yourself to further punishment if you so choose. That's on you. But you got to go to him in want. You're in want of all things, even medicine. Even medicine. Oh, don't take the vaccine. Nigga, don't take no goddamn Advil when you got a migraine. Let it hurt. Let your goddamn brain combust in your stupid little head because you don't want to take an Advil. Because the white man made Advil. You understand? Or whatever nonsense you're talking about, man. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. Again, you'll say this person, oh, you won't trust or believe when Anthony Fauci or whatever person who's the damn expert, you know what I mean, person in whatever field, but then you'll go to a brother and give him credit. Meanwhile, he went to the damn white man school. Dr. whatever Johnson, Dr. Jones, Dr. whatever the hell, what school did he go to? That's why you believe him, because he went to some damn devil school. You understand? And even if you don't believe that, when he starts talking, you want to know what books he read. According to what books, what sources. You understand? Scholarship. Y'all always talk about, oh, scholarship, UPK, scholarship. Nah, UPK, y'all the same one saying UPK don't bring out no scholarship, but we do bring out scholarship. We go into records from all different sources. We'll go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. This wasn't written by a brother. This ain't a brother's research. You understand? This is not written by a black man, but we use it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know, you know what I mean, how to sift through things and understand what's going on. So just because somebody's an expert in their world or whatever doesn't mean you should automatically distrust, you know what I'm saying, what they're saying. Hold on one second. Understand? So now let me continue with this article. All right. Let me finish the scripture real fast. Lock you. And in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Again, that's both literal and figurative. You know what I'm saying? They literally put a yoke of iron on our neck in slavery. That's how they transported us a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you wouldn't just be shackled by your hand, you'd be shackled by your hands, feet, and your neck. You understand? And they put a yoke of iron on our neck, also figuratively, meaning think of it like a strong chokehold. Remember, this is black people talking. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when black people use the word iron, you know what I'm saying, it just means, you know what I'm saying, it just means strong. You know what I'm saying? So you put a yoke of iron, a yoke, a brother, you know what I mean? A yoke means you put a chokehold. You know what I mean? So you put a yoke of iron on your neck, meaning he put a strong, you know what I'm saying, arm or a strong choke on your neck. You understand? Until he's destroyed you like we are in America today. But it starts with us being in want of all things. All right? Now let's jump back. Salakia. Where I'm at. Khan. Thanksgiving travel and gatherings typically take place for a shorter period of time, while Christmas events may continue through Hanukkah and New Year's celebrations, he said in remarks made at the Milken Institute's Future of Health Summit on Monday. Fauci himself said he won't celebrate the holiday with his daughters for the first time in more than 30 years. Christmas Eve is also Fauci's 80th birthday, for which he and his wife plan a Zoom celebration with their children. Imagine a simple Negro telling me about a goddamn vaccine and you can't stop yourself from celebrating Christmas. You don't trust the vaccine. You don't trust the white man. But you're going to celebrate Christmas. Brother, sister, you got to be more honest with yourself, what it comes down to. You got to be more honest with yourself. You celebrating Christmas shows where your allegiance is. It shows what you care about. The vaccine, you're scared of the vaccine because you went, let's be honest. You went on the internet because you cannot stay off social media, because you cannot stay off Instagram, and you cannot stay off Facebook. You can't do it. And you saw somebody else post something about you take the vaccine and, you know what I mean, you're going to end up with your face melting off or turning into a zombie or something like that. And just by reading that, you were like, oh, I don't know. And that's the funny part, right? Like, that's the funny part where the same people advocating against the vaccine are saying that, oh, the U.S. is trying to instill fear in people by putting all this stuff about all these deaths and saying, oh, every day they're saying this thing about COVID-19 and they're making people afraid so they can push the vaccine, da-da-da. But no one is saying, well, you shouldn't trust us because we are also telling you that this vaccine is dangerous and can do this and you should be scared and yada, yada, yada. But you're not using fear tactics. You're just being objective, right? You know what I mean? This is not about vaccine. Don't take the goddamn thing if you don't want to. It's not a big deal. You don't want to take the vaccine? Fine, don't take it. There's only two ways you can fight against the disease, either to get the vaccine or get the disease. That's it. Make your choice. No sweat. No one's pushing you to do it. No one's going to come knocking on your door demanding that you take a vaccine like the Ottawa brought out, you know what I'm saying, like the general brought out. In what time in the history of human life have black people had to worry about someone knocking down their door to give them medicine? When has that ever happened? With all the vaccines we've had before, right? Now, this is not the first vaccine. We've had vaccines before, and these people claim they've always been dangerous. Well, why weren't they knocking down black people's doors before to make us get vaccines? You know what I'm saying? That's unheard of, and it's not going to happen. They're not going to knock down your door. If anything, you're going to have a hard time getting the vaccine. You're not going to be the first one to get it. You understand? And that's just how that cookie crumbles. But if you don't want it, hey, don't get it. Simple as that. But I want to get a scripture real fast for you niggas that can't leave Christmas alone. 1 second. Where am I at? I think Jeremiah. Salakia. I'll use this one. I'll use this one. 1 second. I got like 3 in my head. Yep, this one too. Revelation 18:4. And then I'll just throw in Jeremiah real fast. Jeremiah chapter 10. Right? So even this devil said he's not even doing nothing for Christmas, man. And it's not only is it Christmas Eve and everything, but it's also this devil's old ass birthday. And he's not doing it. But you simple Negroes, us simple Negroes, are going to go, and we probably, it's still December 25th right now as we speak. You at the party right now, aren't you? You at the Christmas party right now, aren't you? You are at the Christmas party. I know it. You drinking that nasty ass eggnog. That eggnog is disgusting. It's disgusting. And you drinking it as we speak. You done spiked the eggnog. By now, I'm pretty sure, matter of fact, there's probably eggnog all over the walls, because I'm pretty sure y'all already had the annual family argument. I'm sure that's already happened, where Auntie such and such yelled at Auntie such and such because Uncle so and so used to be her man, and she took her man, and then Auntie such and such, started yelling at cousin such and such, like, oh well, what do you know about it? You don't even know how to raise your goddamn kids. And then whatchamacallit threw something at Auntie. Every single year, the same thing happens. You know what I'm saying? While you get like the general brought out, while you pass the cranberry sauce to Uncle, Uncle Ray Ray or JoJo, you know what I'm saying? The same uncle that was touching on you and you don't say a goddamn thing about it, looking them in the eye, passing them that nasty potato salad with the eggshells in it. You understand? You doing it right now, risking getting all kind of COVID-19 or whatever. You're not scared about COVID-19. You scared about a vaccine, but you got to celebrate Christmas so you can be next to the uncle that molested you. The vaccine is so horrible, but you got to go to the goddamn Christmas party where if you're a young man in your teens, you and your favorite cousin gonna go walk down the block and go roll one up. You're gonna go roll up with your cousin and the whole thing is gonna be a mess and everybody's gonna leave and be upset or whatever, but you gotta do it every year. Every year you gotta do that, but you're worried about a damn vaccine, man. How about getting your priorities straight? Slack you. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. The Most High is telling you what? He's telling you not to be a spooky fool, not to be a spooky, mythology-believing, crystal-waving, sage-burning idiot. That's what he's telling you not to be. Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't say, oh, I can't date him because he's a Sagittarius. Are you fucking kidding me? And you know I'm not joking, because if you go on social media, a lot of your friends on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth, are like that. Oh, every day they got a horoscope, you know what I'm saying, sign thing to say. Leos do this. Who's the biggest liars? Who's the such and such? Who? I saw one where it was like something like who's the best, something sexual, like who's the best kissers or something like that. Like goddamn, like so I'm just destined to be a bad kisser because I was born in February. Like what is this? That's what y'all believe, that spooky nonsense while you worried about a vaccine. You understand? Good night. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. The Lord is making a separation. You ain't a heathen. If you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you one of God's chosen people, man. You special. God's special people. You're not like them. They're dismayed at the signs of heaven. Let them worry about whether or not they should date Susie because she's a Cancer. Don't you worry about that. You understand? Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. We know vain means nothing or having no value. It says the customs of the people are vain, meaning heathen customs are vain. They have no value. For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. And you see where this is going. This is breaking down that Christmas tree, man. They cut it out the forest. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. I'm not going to go into the whole breakdown, but you understand what it's saying. The customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, man. We know the real origin. We know that's really talking about Nimrod, right? The origin being of Semiramis, who married her own son Nimrod. He died, right? Then she had another son, and she claimed that his spirit was in Tammuz. And they buried him under an evergreen tree, and that his spirit was in the tree, and the tree was alive. You better give us some gifts, or we're cutting your goddamn head off. And the prophet Jeremiah, the Lord is speaking through the prophet Jeremiah saying, no, that's all spooky nonsense. That's garbage. Okay? But yet y'all use this as an excuse. You're not worried about COVID. But you got to have Christmas. No sweat. Let me get the other scriptures, man. Where am I at? I'll use this one. The book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 7. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. Don't be partakers with them in this holiday. It's going to get you killed, is what I'm saying. The gist of what I'm saying is that it's going to get you killed. Your own, it's funny, because that's why I titled this class, Fear Will Destroy Us. Because your simple Christmas gotta have addiction will get you killed. But then you're afraid of the goddamn medicine for the thing that you're going to get because you have to celebrate Christmas. Your fear is going to kill you. Our fear, Salakia, is going to kill us. Now, I actually became afraid of no goddamn needles, Zach. We're not afraid of a vaccine. We're not afraid of. First of all, there's no pork in it. No pork in it. Then we're going to get to the whole fetus controversy, you know what I'm saying, shortly. But we know that there is no there's no measles now. Who has measles? Anybody know who got measles? Maybe somebody has it. I have never met anybody with measles. I didn't grow up in a world where measles was a thing. But I've seen pictures, and I know historically that when measles was a thing. But I didn't grow up in that world. In fact, none of us did. Maybe my grandmother might have lived about 10 years of her life with measles being a thing. You know what I'm saying? And even by that time, it wasn't what it once was. Measles used to be something that killed millions of people. We'll get into it. All right? But it says, be not ye, Salakia. It says, be not ye therefore partakers with them. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. You understand? For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. You understand? I think this is down from the scripture my brother likes to use all the time. A very Tawab scripture, man. Let me see. Now, it might be in here, but it might be somewhere else where it talks about light and darkness. But yeah, but that's what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? Be not partakers with them. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye in the light. Are ye light in the Lord? Walk as children of light. We are not supposed to walk in darkness. Christmas is darkness. Thanksgiving is darkness. Those are holidays, or those are celebrations and customs of heathens that have nothing to do with us. We're supposed to walk in the light of the Lord, not in darkness. That's what we used to do. We're not supposed to live like that no more. You understand? One more. I'll jump back to the article. Then we're going to play a little bit of music. You know what I'm saying? Play another track. You know what I'm saying? And Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Could there be a scripture more on point than what we're talking about? If you weren't so worried about the goddamn Christmas party, If you weren't so worried about the goddamn Thanksgiving dinner and the New Year's party that you're going to go to, all pagan holidays that have nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with Christ, and nothing to do with God, if you weren't so busy doing those things, guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about a vaccine because you wouldn't have to worry about getting COVID-19 because you cannot stop gathering over nonsense. You understand? Are we telling brothers and sisters that they can't gather? No. In the UPK, guess what? We're not afraid of the vaccine, and we're also not afraid of COVID-19. But you see how that works? You see how that works? We're not afraid of COVID-19, but we're also not afraid to take the fucking vaccine if it will help us. You got it backwards. You're afraid of the vaccine, but not afraid of being around 800 niggas so y'all all can get COVID. Then when you get it, you be like, damn, this sucks. You understand? But again, no sweat. Either way, you're either going to be immune to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not immune, but either you're going to get the COVID-19 and build up some antibodies that's going to help you in the future, or you get the vaccine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? One might be a little less uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? The COVID, from what I understand, is not comfortable at all. You know what I mean? But again, take your chances. No sweat. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Yeah, don't participate in her nonsense so you don't have to worry about getting COVID-19 and all of that. Back to this article before we, do a little break real fast. Where am I at? Christmas extends that vulnerable period by 2 to 3 times, Fauci said, and could pave the way for another surge. Infections are emerging from modest-sized gatherings of family and friends in the home, including gatherings of around 10 people, something the American public should be very careful about in the coming weeks, he said. Fauci urged Americans to double down on measures such as wearing masks, avoiding crowds, and social distancing. But he also warned that the country hasn't yet seen the full extent of new virus data related to the Thanksgiving holiday, saying those numbers usually take up to 2.5 weeks to emerge. Which is the reason, in quotation, which is the reason why I'm so concerned, because of the blip of Thanksgiving. It's like because the blip of Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, he said. We're getting those staggering numbers of new cases and hospitalizations before we even feel the full brunt of the Thanksgiving holiday. Ooh-wee. What is he saying? He is saying that the best is yet to come. More is coming on the way, and it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be worse. You understand? The country has added more than 196,000 new COVID-19 cases each day over the last week, on average, and faces record hospitalizations, which Fauci attributed to cold weather, moving activities, and gatherings indoors. No sweat, man. As the U.S. prepares to deploy millions of COVID-19 vaccines across the country, Fauci also said he was confident that the rollout would work out. He said he isn't personally responsible for vaccine deployment, but has been working on it within the context of Operation Warp Speed. Once vaccines are transported to states and localities, they will be responsible for getting the shots to recipients, Fauci said, acknowledging that not all areas will be equally prepared for the task. You understand? So, that's pretty much the gist. Let me see if there's more Slovakia. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's no sweat, right? So that's what it's saying. It's right in front of your face. The Bible ain't no spooky book. The Bible's a real book. The Bible just told you to come out of her and be not partakers of her sins so that way you don't be involved in her plagues. But the damn devil's telling you himself that his Thanksgiving holidays and his Christmas holidays and his New Year holidays and his gatherings and all of these things, he's telling you himself that it's going to cause surges and it's going to get worse. You understand? And so, let's see. You know what I mean? We're going to go ahead and just play. We're going to play some more tunes, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. Put a little something on real fast. You feel me? You know what I mean? And then when we return, you know what I'm saying? When we return, we're going to bring out some more articles. We got like 2 more articles to go, a couple more scriptures to go. You know what I'm saying? Again, stay tuned. Unplugged from the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? ISUPK.
Bombing like the president. I remain strong, King Kong with the prevalence. I show you exactly what we do, that's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent. Throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids in, shades on, made men. Cause we put in work to stop the earth until it caves in. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we bout to lead the sword and stone. Nigga, we warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride. And let the Hebrew speak, nigga, general highs. And we talking super heavy, nigga, that's the surprise. With all scripture, street talk, word to Captain the Kai, nigga, we blazing, ripping the mic with all facts, doing the knowledge to the max, till we cracking the pavement. UPK, y'all the one West Harlem, nigga. We spring forward and they falling like it's autumn, nigga. Talking to all them niggas born in the mud. If you ain't feeling this, your cord unplugged, and that's real. Oh, I get it, cat tie, war, they not of our kind. I get the order, then it's handle kind, not the one kind, without a doubt in my mind. I'm finna stop and recline. Anybody that come against us, they should probably resign. Cause it's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. I hate these niggas throwing shots, but can they take some? Christ says, sell out your garments to get a sword now. I'ma go and sell off these polos to get a 4 pound. Damn sure ain't started the war, but I'ma end it. Cause the spiritual war could turn carnal any minute. I remember riding back in the days, window was tinted. But Salaki, I'm done with that carnal shit, I repented. And they bomb-proof the booth every time I'm about to go win it. You ain't know this shit, I live for this truth and I'ma defend it. And I get my second win just as soon these niggas get winded. It's a war going on outside, I'm jumping in it. It's a war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside.
Nobody's safe, it's a war out here. If you pussy in the streets, you a whore out here. See me all suited up in my fallout gear. 762, flip your fucking car out here. No burner, I still break your jaw out here. No fear, if you scared, get a motherfucking pit. Or sit up in the church, you a motherfucking bitch. I give you in the verse what I give you in a clip. It's 32 rounds of fire, it never quit. A lot of fuckery going down, so what's the purpose? Sick of hanging around these clowns, get out the circus. If you cross that line, then you get lit up. The worst is all black hearses, tinted with black curtains. Docs on site with medics and mad nurses. Leave us out your verses. You don't want that kind of war, ready for that bullshit. Kinda like a matador. Get this kind of focus, you gon' need some Adderall. Something just to lock you in behind them padded walls. They say I got some screws loose, and that's true too. Don't let me let them wolves through like it's a full moon. It's like I transform the booth to a war room. Come up with a strategy, maximizing your calories. Courage of King David, battling like the Maccabees. Find out who you think that nigga, walk to him casually. Then proceed to bar his life away rapidly. Take a knee for your majesty, take it to hate it savagely. I try leaving rap alone, but I guess that this had to be. Keep you grounded like gravity, in the ville, but it's amity. Horror, I seen calamity, scar you up for my family. Mumble rappers be mad at me, fuck them up in they faculty. They words sweet, sit in they mouth and causing cavities. Yeah, it's a war, but none of you suckers worry. None of
war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside, so in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, your bladder be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside, I get it on outside.
Most High in Christ, you know what I'm saying? That was Officer Knock, you know what I'm saying, with Lost Tribes. You know what I'm saying? Another classic war going on outside, man. You know what I mean? I'm playing most of these UPK joints, man, because, you know what I mean, it's easy to have those in the rotation. Everybody familiar with them joints, you know what I mean? I don't got that ear like Aya. You know what I mean? He be playing them island vibes. You know what I mean? I don't know all them joints like that. You know what I mean? All I know is Vibes Cartel and, like, you know what I mean, Popcorn. Like, I only know, like, a handful of dudes, man. He know everybody. So we're going to pick it right back up. All right, so last thing we read about, you know what I'm saying, about the numbers, I'm saying, for the COVID and how this holiday, you know what I mean, is just picking all those numbers up, man. It's making it worse. You know what I mean? So now, where am I at here? Salakia. Where am I at? All right. Right here. All right. So this is a little history joint. You know what I'm saying? It's the New York Times. How New York City vaccinated 6 million people in less than a month. When a single case of smallpox arrived in Manhattan in 1947, a severe outbreak was possible. A decisive civil servant made a bold decision. On Easter weekend in 1947, New York City buzzed with an air of invincibility. The miseries of World War II were finally over, and New York, like the rest of the country, was buoyant. The future promised great things. The Polaroid land camera had just been invented. Consumer TV sets were appearing in living rooms. The transistor radio was in the works. What the public didn't know was that smallpox, the scourge of civilizations, had improbably reemerged in the city 5 weeks earlier. On March 1st, a 47-year-old American businessman, Eugene LeBar, arrived in New York City after a long bus ride from Mexico City. He was on his way to Maine, but he had been feeling sick and checked into a midtown hotel with his wife. After sightseeing, he collapsed into bed, exhausted with a headache and a pain in the back of his neck. By March 5th, Mr. LeBar was in Bellevue Hospital with a 105-degree fever and a peculiar-looking rash on his face and hands. 3 days later, he was transferred to Willard Parker, the city's communicable disease hospital. His doctors considered several diagnoses, none definitive. Because he had a vaccination scar, they ruled out smallpox. On March 10th, Mr. LeBar was dead. Soon, more patients at Willard Parker's began exhibiting symptoms similar to Mr. LeBar's. First, a 22-month-old baby from the Bronx named Patricia, then a 27-year-old man from Harlem, Ismail Acosta, a 30-month-old toddler, John, followed. The doctors thought they were looking at chickenpox, but were flummoxed by the patient's rashes, which didn't fit the diagnosis. Again, this is a New York Times article called How New York City Vaccinated 6 Million People in Less Than a Month. All right? Let's see. On April 4th, one second, where am I at? Okay. On April 4th, the results came back from the U.S. Army Medical School Laboratory in Washington. All 3 were confirmed cases of smallpox, which had not been seen in New York City since before the war. Health officials began connecting the dots, and the dots led back to Eugene LeBar, patient 0. The city's health commissioner, Israel Weinstein, had taken the job 10 months earlier. He'd been a child on the Lower East Side when a smallpox outbreak brought the city to its knees in the early 1900s, killing 720 New Yorkers in a 2-year period. Now he was both a medical doctor and a scientist. He had earned a doctorate from New York University, NYU, along with a PhD and an MD from Columbia. So when he got the lab results, he knew what he was up against. Smallpox had plagued humankind for thousands of years. This is what I want to really get to. According to the World Health Organization, it claimed the lives of 300 million people in the 20th century alone. All it takes for smallpox to spread is a cough, a sneeze, or a touch. After that, it's only a matter of days before the virus triggers fever, aches, pains, and nausea. A rash appears on the face and soon covers the body, sprouting into fluid-filled pustules, or little, little bumps with pus, I believe. 3 out of 10 cases are fatal. Those who survive are often left deeply scarred, blind, or both. In the pantheon of infectious diseases, smallpox is in the top 5, said Dr. Charles DiMaggio, professor of surgery and population health at NYU Grossman School of Medicine. It was thoroughly horrifying because it disfigured people it didn't kill, and it killed indiscriminately. Now listen to this. Thanks to a vaccine developed in the late 1700s and refined in the decades that followed, smallpox outbreaks had generally been contained. In 1980, the World Health Organization officially declared smallpox eradicated. The smallpox eradication program is absolutely considered one of the crowning achievements of global public health, Dr. DiMaggio said, and it's never been duplicated. Just the very idea that a disease was eradicated, a disease that ravaged humankind for millennia, is remarkable. And the reason we were able to do that is because of vaccinations. Now, again, am I saying all of this? Am I bringing out this article to say that vaccinations are cures? No, because they're not cures. Am I bringing this out to say that all vaccinations are safe? No, because they're all not equally safe. Am I bringing this out to tell you that if you don't take the vaccine, that the UPK thinks you're a traitor or you are disgusting or what? No, I'm not telling you any of that. What I'm telling you, I'm bringing all of that is to say, is that to say that vaccinations in and of themselves are evil or what have you is just crazy. Vaccinations do not represent the brunt of the so-called white man's, you know what I'm saying, there's a scripture that says that, his words were smoother than butter, you know what I'm saying, but war was in his heart. That is a fact. It is a fact that the so-called white man uses pretty words and cunning ways to seem like a good guy. But this ain't that because white people take vaccines. You know what white people don't do? I'll tell you what they don't do. Or what they mostly don't do. They don't fall for the bait and switch like we do. I'll tell you what they don't do. They don't line Planned Parenthood clinics. Imagine that. We know that Planned Parenthood was started by a white woman named Margaret Sanger. We know that it was started and it was maintained by the feminist movement, which was ran by who? So-called white women. It always has been. They've always been the number one advocates for women's rights, women's lib or liberation, right? All of those things. But who is the number one consumers of Planned Parenthood? Us. Every year, we lead in that. Every year. Who's falling down the rabbit hole of homosexuality and lesbianism more than Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women right now? Nobody. We have more AIDS than everybody. You understand? You cannot turn on your TV without seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you can't, it's some sugary Negro on every TV show. You know what I'm saying? Some, now you go watch a movie, it's some, blackity black lesbian, you know what I'm saying? But yet she's a feminist, you know what I mean? Yet she's Black Lives Matter. The whole Black Lives Matter movement is started by lesbians. You understand? The whole movement. We're the guinea pigs. You know what I'm saying? We're the guinea pigs. We fall for it and it becomes, like definitive for what we are and represent in society. They don't do that. You understand? A vaccine, this medicine that they've developed is medicine that they take. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, let's not forget, with vaccinations, a lot of times we're talking about infectious diseases. We're not talking about some disease you just got up in you and you alone and you can't spread it. You know what I mean? We're talking about some disease that you can give the disease to a white person by coughing next to them. Or vice versa. So the vaccine is because they know that whoever gets it can give it to whoever. You feel me? So it's not like they just gonna just push the vaccine on you because they want to kill you and not no, you ain't gonna get it. You barely got health insurance. You know vaccinations cost money. They're not free. Where are we getting this? You go to the doctor for whatever thing, and you go to the checkup, you go to your checkup, do you understand that they charge you because they use like a stethoscope? If they check your temperature and your heart rate and make you do, you know what I mean? What's the joint they call where they make you cover one eye and read the thing? An eye exam, Salakia. An eye exam. You getting charged for all of that, brother? That's not free. You think you getting dosages of vaccines for free? Good night. Has anyone ever knocked down your door and tried to force penicillin down your throat because you couldn't stop sleeping with whores and you got a goddamn UTI? Has that ever happened? Come on, man. Let's stop being ridiculous. These medicines or whatever that they're using, again, different companies are using it. Every company is not as trustworthy. Every company doesn't have the best product. Every company doesn't have the right, whatchamacallit, right? All the right ingredients, whatever. That's true. But don't sit here and make a sweeping gesture about vaccines, because if it wasn't for vaccine, nigga, we would be worried about smallpox right now. Nigga, forget smallpox. When is the last time you knew someone who had chickenpox? I grew up, I was born in 1989. I remember chickenpox. And then next thing I knew, it was just not a thing. You know what I'm saying? I remember people would get it from time to time. My little sister has, you know what I'm saying, like on her body, on her arms, she has little remnants of chickenpox to this day. Can't spread it. You know, she has it. Like, I mean, like, again, it's just the mark, so it's not like actually like active. But she can't. Why is that? Because vaccines. Stop this stuff. You understand? Stop being so goddamn scared of everything. If you want smallpox, just, you know what I mean? I don't know. Go some third world country. Maybe they still got it over there somewhere. Where am I at? In 1947, most New Yorkers had been inoculated against smallpox. They'd been told the inoculation would protect them for life, but there was no guarantee. In some cases, the vaccine didn't take. In others, the immunity wore off. Mr. Labar was proof of that. Dr. Weinstein had some tough decisions to make. The lab results reached him on Good Friday, April 4th. In 2 days, New Yorkers would be gathering for the city's annual Easter parade. If only one of them had smallpox, even among a vaccinated population, the resulting outbreak could be devastating. Imagine the Easter parade and all these people crowded together on Fifth Avenue, said Dr. Howard Markle, director of the University for the History of Medicine at the University of Michigan. All of them cheering and chanting and potentially coughing and sneezing, and you have smallpox introduced into that picture. That is a public health nightmare. Dr. Weinstein wasted no time. Knowing there was only one way to deal with the virus, vaccination, he took action. At 2 o'clock that day, he held a news conference urging all city dwellers to get vaccinated immediately, even if they had been inoculated as children. Revaccinations were necessary, he said, in case people had lost their immunity. It was hardly without risk. Not only could the announcement cause mass hysteria, but in 1947, vaccines were not tested the way they are today. The vaccine available at the time could trigger rare but dangerous side effects, especially in people with weakened immune systems or particular skin conditions. According to Dr. Oshinsky, professor of medicine at NYU Langone Health, Dr. Weinstein acted in line with the scientific knowledge of the era. He made the right move, which was to vaccinate as many people as possible. Dr. Markle agrees. Weinstein was doing his job as best he could. He said the risk of smallpox spreading and causing disease and death was far, far greater than the tiny risk of getting encephalitis or dying of the vaccine. So I come not to bury Weinstein, but to praise him. You understand? So there's more to the article. You know what I mean? Basically telling you what it was able to do, and so on and so forth. We're not going to get all the way into it. You know what I mean? But the point is is that, let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. Okay, let me see this. So it says, at the end, it said, in early May, 10 weeks after Eugene LeBar stepped off a bus in Manhattan, Dr. Weinstein announced that the danger had passed. This is after they had actually, given vaccinations to people. Later that year, he summed up the case in the American Journal of Public Health. In a period of less than a month, 6,350,000 people were vaccinated in New York City, he wrote. Never before had so many people been vaccinated in such a city and on such short notice. The final tally was 12 infections and 2 deaths. What Dr. Weinstein did in 1947 is something we're still studying and referring to. The fact that they developed the logistics, the delivery of vaccine, the large public spaces where people could line up to get vaccines, the manpower in the form of nurses and doctors who would give the vaccine is pretty incredible. Weinstein is to be credited. Again, we don't give a damn about devils. I'm simply showing you that this disease that, again, had killed millions and millions and millions and millions of people over millennia was able to be stopped and thwarted to the point where it does not exist anymore because of vaccinations. That's all I'm saying. You understand? So if you're scared of it, okay, cool. Is it possible that vaccines can cause your face to turn upside down? Maybe. I don't know. Is it possible that you can get what's the endocrinitis or whatever, like it can cause some skin reaction? Is it possible that it can that in certain women it could affect their ability to bear children? A lot of things could happen. Absolutely. 100%. It's possible. Just like it's possible that if you go and get surgery, you may not wake up. That is a possible. Every time, that's why I think you have to sign a waiver. Like every time, like if you go to get like surgery of some kind where they have to put you to sleep, it is possible. It is a medical possibility that you will not wake up or that you'll die or you have an adverse effect to something. It's possible. And I have to tell you that. Vaccines is no different. It's possible. But it does not outweigh what it does or what it's supposed to do. Salakia. Now, with that being said, let me get a scripture. You already knew where I was going. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 38. Start at verse 1. This is in the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 38, and verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. Okay? For the Most High cometh healing. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. You understand? Does that mean, again, that we are saying that every doctor is commendable and the white man love him? No. But guess what? If God wants you to die of COVID, you're going to die. If he wants you to live from COVID, you're going to live. If he wants you to take the vaccine and it makes you walk backward forever, that's what's going to happen. But if he wants you to take the vaccine and you'll be fine, that's going to happen. You understand? At the end of the day, as a person, you have to maneuver wisely. You understand? If you had a brain tumor, I'm saying you wouldn't be trying to sit at home, you know what I mean, and pray it away. You know what I mean? You'd be trying to get some surgery, get some medicine. So let's not be simple. 1 second. Okay. I think that's all I wanted. Yeah, that's all I wanted on that one. So now we'll jump to another article. Oh, let me just read this real fast. So I'm gonna try to get through this one and then 2 more real fast. So the claim about the fetuses in the vaccine. This is an article discussing that. Verified. No, Astrazeneca's vaccine does not have tissue from an aborted fetus in it. A viral claim online says the company's vaccine contains lung tissue from an aborted fetus in it. It does not. The majority of COVID-19 vaccines come from relatively new biotechnology. With that new technology comes new speculation. A viral video online claims one of the vaccines has tissue from an aborted fetus in it. Right? So let's scroll down. Question: does Astrazeneca's vaccine have the lung tissue of an aborted fetus in it? No, there is no fetal tissue whatsoever in the vaccine. Right? This is coming from Dr. William Moss, a vaccines expert from Johns Hopkins University. They're going to explain exactly what it is. Just a second. Bear with me 1 second. Keon, I think it's very important to note that the vaccine does not contain any fetal tissue. Let's reiterate. No, there is no fetal tissue in the vaccine whatsoever. However, to understand the claim, you have to understand how AstraZeneca's vaccine works. AstraZeneca in several releases explain its vaccine uses a dead or weakened adenovirus to deliver the coronavirus code to the body. Then the body creates an immune response to fight COVID-19. However, now this is the part we need to understand. However, to create the delivery virus, the company has to grow that virus. It does this in cells that come from a line of kidney cells originally taken from an aborted fetus back in the 70s. All right? I'm going to read that again. However, to create the delivery virus, the company has to grow that virus. It does this in cells that come from a line of kidney cells originally taken from an aborted fetus back in the 70s. So you have the original fetal tissue, then you have the cells that were derived from it. The virus has grown in that, and then that's taken out of the cells, Dr. Moss explained. Here's what this means. There's no goddamn skin of a baby in the in the vaccine. That's not what it is. What happened was when they started to develop, mind you, these vaccines are not developed instantly. They're all vaccines. So it's like one vaccine was developed, and then they kind of build off of that vaccine, then build off of that vaccine, and build off of that vaccine. They used cells, right, from an aborted fetus in the 70s they took the cells, not the skin, but cells, like microscopic cells from an aborted fetus in the 70s. Now, mind you, again, this if you get a blood transfusion, I mean, do you understand that on your driver's license, on people's driver's license and things like that, you have like where you can be a blood donor, you can donate your organs, you can donate your organs after you die. You get into a horrible car crash, your heart works, or it's still workable. Meanwhile, some little kid whose like right ventricle is like 3 times the size it's supposed to be, needs a new heart, they can switch the hearts, the kid can live. Organ donors, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? So what it's saying is they took the cells from the fetus, and just the microscopic cells. Then inside of those cells, let me read it again, Salakia, right? The virus has grown in that, and then that's taken out of the cell. So they use the cell, because the virus, in order to create the thing that mimics the virus, they have to grow the virus. So they use those cells, or copies of those cells, because remember, this fetus is from like 50 years ago. Copies of those cells. Use it to grow the virus, microscopic cells, microscopic virus. Then they take the virus out of the cell. By the time it gets in the vaccine, has nothing to do with the fetus. There's no skin of the fetus. Even the cell of the fetus is not present. All they did was grow the virus in the cell. If you could read my mind right now and tell me why that's not a big deal and why that's no different than anything else, is that every goddamn virus you get grew in someone else's cells, you goddamn fool. That's how you get a virus. That's why it's a virus. When some other person coughs on you, the virus that had grown in their cells is now in the cells in their saliva, which gets on you and goes into your cells. And now you got goddamn coronavirus. Slovakia. We have to stop being so simple. We got to stop. All right? So that's that. Next. Yeah, there's no fetal tissue in the vaccine. Where am I at? Now, I won't get too much into this because we're going to clip it soon. But I got an article here on Business Insider that said these are the 20 days in the past 100 years when America saw the most deaths from a single catastrophe. Over half are in the past 2 weeks. Jordan just... Huh? It did? No sweat. Salakia, sorry about that. My bad. No sweat. So 100 years when America saw the most deaths from a single catastrophe, over half are in the past 2 weeks. I'm just gonna read a couple of bullet points again before we go to this last joint. Clip it, man. December 16th was the deadliest day of the U.S.'s COVID-19 epidemic so far, with 3,448 deaths reported. That also makes it the day with the most American deaths from a single catastrophe since at least 1920. Of the 20 days with the most fatalities from a catastrophe in the past century, 17 were this year. 12 happened this December. These are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? This is what it is. The Most High is wreaking havoc on America right now. And I say, Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh Shah for that. You understand? Because y'all keep wanting to celebrate Christmas. Y'all keep wanting to celebrate the slaughter of my Native American brothers. Right now, and the Most High is ramping it up on you. He's ramping it up on you. Why? Because you just can't leave it alone. Just can't leave it be. No sweat. All right. Last one. Read that. Hold on. Read that. I want to get this, this one right here. Now, we all seen this. Many of us have seen this, at least. I mean, a black doctor died of COVID-19 weeks after accusing hospital staff of racist treatment. A black physician died of COVID-19 weeks after she described a white doctor dismissing her pain and concerns about her treatment as she lay in an Indiana hospital. Let's see if I can't really pull up the video, unfortunately, the way I want to. But again, you just look it up. A black doctor died of COVID-19, and it should pop up. Like, I mean, it's been kind of viral. It's been everywhere. You got something? No sweat. Dr. Susan Moore passed away on Sunday due to complications from COVID-19. Her son told the New York Times. The internist died about 2 weeks after she shared a video in which she accused a doctor at Indiana University Health North Hospital of ignoring her complaints of pain and requests for medication because she was black, even though she was both a patient and a doctor herself. In a video that was posted earlier this month, she filmed herself from a hospital bed and recounted her experience at IU North. Moore said her doctor brushed off her symptoms, telling her, "You're not even short of breath." This is what we have to go through as black people. This is it. We read before, in want of all things. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back. Let me see. Hold up. If it don't, I got this right here because I know where it is here. Look at verse 48. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48, right? But I want to go to the other one. Where is it at? Here we go. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50, this is what I want. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Does that sound like somebody who's going to force medicine down your goddamn throat? Does that sound like somebody who's going to knock on your door and give you medicine? Like the general brought out, man. Tuskegee wasn't them injecting us with syphilis. It was them knowing we had it and not doing anything. That's what the Tuskegee experiment was. They knew these brothers had syphilis. They told them they had bad blood. You know what they did? Nothing. They told, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, they told some brothers who didn't have it that they had it. You understand? It was all a big joke. It was all a big game. You understand? That's what we go through in America. That's what you got to worry about. Not them forcing medicine on you. Not them forcing shots on you that you got to pay money for and you cannot afford. You understand? Where am I at? Salakia. Here we go. You're not even short of breath. Yes, I am, Moore said in the video, which she shared on Facebook December 4th. She had to beg to receive remdesivir, she recalled in the video, the antiviral drug used to treat patients who are hospitalized for COVID-19 and are not in need of a mechanical ventilation. And despite her pain, the doctor told Moore he might send her home, she said, and he didn't feel comfortable giving her more narcotics. He made me feel like I was a drug addict, she said in the video, and he knew I was a physician. Moore had also posted updates on her Facebook page along with the video. Moore, who was an internist, said her pain was adequately treated only after she raised concerns about her treatment. She was later discharged from IU North but returned to a different hospital less than 12 hours later. She wrote on her Facebook page, "I put forth and I maintain if I was white, I wouldn't have to go through that," Moore said. A spokesman for IU North confirmed to CNN that Moore was a patient at the hospital and that she was eventually discharged, but declined to say more about her, citing patient privacy. As an organization committed to equity and reducing racial disparities in healthcare, we take accusations of discrimination very seriously and investigate every allegation, the spokesman said. In a statement issued on Thursday, Dennis M. Murphy, president and CEO of Indiana University Health, defended the technical aspects of the treatment Moore received, while conceding that we may not have shown the level of compassion and respect we strive for in understanding what matters most to patients. He also asked for an external review of the case. You understand? Now, of course, the article goes on to talk about, racism. And let me read a little bit. I got to read a little bit. Salakia, I got to read a little bit of this. Moore's story speaks to a broader issue of what experts call implicit racial bias in healthcare toward black patients. Studies have shown that black patients are in some situations prescribed less pain medication than their white counterparts. And a recent article in the New England Journal of Medicine attributed unequal treatment in part to enduring racist cultural beliefs and practices. Now, again, I might have to do this next week. I might have to bring these out. And don't let me forget that I might need to continue with this, because this is tawab, because it can lead into talking about some real history when it comes to black people in America and other places in our treatment. You see what it just said? It said, enduring racist cultural beliefs and practices. Let me give you one of those. One of the enduring cultural racist beliefs and practices was the belief that black women could not feel pain. This was something that was actually believed by eugenicists and doctors in America and slave owners, that black women and black men could not feel pain, or that they had a higher threshold for pain, which is why they would use black women in experiments. A lot of our practices today, a lot of the things that they have at the OBGYN is because they experimented with black women's vaginas in the 1700s, 1600s, and 1800s without any kind of pills, without any kind of, anything to aid them, because they felt that black women could endure more pain. And black men can endure more pain. And now today, you go to the doctor and tell him, "You're having pain. I need this." And he says, "Oh no, you don't need that." You know what I'm saying? It's just a continuation of the same thing. No sweat. Where we at? The article cited a 2016 study that found half of white medical students and residents held unfounded. I got to use this again. The article cited a 2016 study that found that half of white medical students and residents held unfounded beliefs about intrinsic biologic differences between black people and white people, falsely believing the pain of black patients was less severe than white patients. This is CNN.com. This is not something I made up that I wrote. This is what they said. 50% of white medical students, the ones who become Dr. Johnson. You love Dr. Johnson. You love him. You love Dr. Samuels, what have you. Well, when they were in college, they believed that, black people could endure more pain. So you didn't need as much medicine. Accepting of this inequitable treatment as normal is historically rooted in and supported by the belief that black people are intrinsically disease-prone and implicitly or explicitly not deserving of high-quality care. Racial disparities in medical treatment have been further underscored by COVID-19, which disproportionately impacts communities of color. Let me scroll down Slack here. Let me read this quote and then we're going to end it here. CNN has reached out to Moore's family for further comment. Her son told the New York Times she was adept at advocating for herself at hospitals where she often received treatment for sarcoidosis, an inflammatory disease that affects the lungs. Nearly every time she went to the hospital, she had to advocate for herself, fight for something in some way, shape, or form, just to get baseline proper care, he told the Times. I'm going to end it with this quote. This is from the sister who was killed. This is how, that died. I don't want to put forth false information. This is how this is what the sister who died said. This is how black people get killed, Moore said in the video. When you send them home and they don't know how to fight for themselves. And right now, let me scroll. I got to read a little bit more. No, I think that might be it. Yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it with that quote. This is how black people get killed, when you send them home and they don't know how to fight for themselves. And unfortunately, our brothers and sisters right now are on the goddamn internet fighting so they can be killed. Fighting so they don't have to get the medicine. Don't you worry. Like, let me just put it like that. Don't worry. Like, no one, you at least, at the very least, it's not historically founded. It's just not historically founded that you had to fight medicine off. That you had to fight them pushing some kind of faux medicine on you. You never had to fight that. Your fight has always been to get proper medical care, to be seen as a human being, to be given fair treatment. You know what I'm saying? For people to believe you when you say you're sick. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we got to stop letting that kind of fear, again, is absolutely going to kill us and destroy us. You know what I'm saying? And there's no room for it. And so we got to let that go. You know what I mean? But again, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for tuning in. Again, you know what I mean? The class or the joint wasn't as lively today. You know what I mean? I'm gonna learn how to do all that stuff. Don't you worry. You know what I'm saying? I do more of the information part. You know what I mean? Bring out the articles. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But of course, like I said, thank you for tuning in. Unplugged from the Matrix every Friday night. You know what I mean? Hopefully next week we'll get Officer Ayaza back up in here. You know what I mean? We're going to rock it out. We're going to continue to bring out this information, continue to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? And with that, shalom.
Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Payback in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark. And I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. And I been walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft. Better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. My hymen say I cup full. No room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, to drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and Johanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check, 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Should call me 47. Praying for Armageddon, me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame, ass wide to the king. Until the righteous reign, Lord to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the king, them devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the king. That's right. Bring that hot flame, new bitch. Hey, Lord to the king. Until the righteous reign, Lord to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the king, them devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the king. Bring that hot flame, new bitch. Hey, Lord to the king.
It's time to do a Bible study. Let's open our Bibles. I'm excited to turn to Revelation. We're doing this series through Revelation because it's so important.